Hello, my name is Anne, and this is Toby. And welcome to a Tobyknits podcast, episode 102. And I have to just tell you, I had to bribe Toby to come downstairs to the basement with me because he doesn't like the basement. And I've moved my craft room down here. So I had to bribe him with a bone. Would you like this bone? He says, Mommy, just let me down. I want to get out of here. He won't even take this. He'll go. Do you want this? Okay, then, well, off you go. You'll hear him go upstairs in a minute. There he goes. Just does not like the basement, which is fine by me because, you know, sometimes you need your own space. So anyway, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Toby normally starts my videos for me when it's a Monday and we talk about knitting, which is what we're doing today. Wednesdays, I talk about cross stitch, and Fridays, I talk about quilty fun. So stick around, watch all of them this week, or just watch the one you want to watch the most. Please like and subscribe. Okay, so what have I got to tell you today? What a morning it has been. So my son called me from Nova Scotia this morning. I was actually still in bed when he called because they were like an hour ahead, so, you know. Anyway, so I'm chatting away to him for like half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever it was. And then I was like, oh, I have to go. Formula One's starting soon. So I let him go. I ran into the living room, still in my PJs and everything, and got all ready, got my cup of tea, sat down, got all ready for Formula One. Now, as you all know, I'm a huge Formula One fan. And this time it was in Australia, which their time zone is like bizarre. So the actual race was at like 3 or 4 o'clock live in the morning or something. But I wasn't getting up to that. But they had a whole repeat on at 9:20. So that's what I ended up watching. So anyway, here I am watching that. So that's all good. And right after that, and of course I was thrilled that the way the race went. I love Leclerc. I think he's awesome. So I was happy that he won. But I also love Lewis Hamilton. And I think he came fourth. Yeah, fourth. So, which is pretty good because Mercedes car's been really rubbish since this new season started. So it's actually good he even got that high up, in my opinion. But anyway, and so right after that was football. Yeah, and that was Liverpool, of course, my team. We're playing Man City, and they're like 1 point behind each other in the league right now. So it was a really, anyway, of course they tied 2-2. But still, so I haven't got anything done yet because I spent all morning in front of the telly, as you do, watching sports. So let's get on with the knitting now that I've told you all that. I did not do hardly any Mitred Square Blanket. In fact, I don't think I did any since last time. This is where I am with the Mitred Square Blanket. I started the 3rd row here, and I've only got one color in. Well, I shouldn't say the 3rd row. It's actually the 4th row, because the 1st row I did, let me just get it and show you. The 1st row I did some old minis that I had leftovers from a Christmas 2 years ago, an Advent. But then I started with the mixtape minis that I get monthly from Ellie Jones of Craft House Magic. And so that row 1 was the blues. And then row 2 is the greens. And you might remember, I also then put a triangle in the Triangulum blanket, and I made a pair of socks using all the leftovers from the blue line. So but I did not get very far on this with the pinks because I was obsessed with the Triangulum blanket. So here is the blanket again. Let me go this way. So there was the January colors. And then I used a white to separate the colors. Here is the February colors. Again, the white to separate. And here is how the colors turned out for March. Isn't that pretty? Look at them. Like, I love this one. It's like a gray with a teeny bit of pink in it. And then you've got a darker pink. And then another pale tonal pink, and then the pale green, and then the blue, which has bits of green in it. It's really sweet. I did use this pink twice, because in each one I have to use one of the colors twice. So I just have to close my hole up in the center here and get my whites on. I know my Aprils have shipped, my April minis, so I'm excited to get them. But I will definitely have to get the white ready for when they come. So hopefully I get them before I go to Vegas. But we'll see. Oh, I keep losing my sweater here. Okay, so then the other thing was the socks that I've been working on, which again, slightly obsessed with the socks. And I'm using, it's actually quite funny. So what I did was, I do have two on the go, but one is more ahead than the other, and I'll explain why. So I started out with the pale green, and I did, and again, I'm really loving doing these stripy socks because I'm kind of making the patterns up as I'm going. They're just plain knit. I'm not shoving any pattern in them, but the way I'm striping them is what's been the most fun for me. The blue ones I did in, like, it's called a Tobyknits method, where you add the two numbers together to make the number of rows, and you add that to the next one and make the next number of rows, and each time you're changing color and all that. This one, I'm just not doing that. And these are an even shorter pair because literally I just did this much. So I did 8 rows of rib, then 10 rows of just knit, and then I put in the heel flap and turn in the next color. And then I did the gusset in the 3rd color and did enough rows to just finish the gusset off. And so I think I have 16 rows here of this color. And then I went to this color and did 16 rows of that. So that's my 5 colors. Other than I have 1 color left, which I want to make the toe, which is another dark blue. So I thought, that doesn't look big enough for my foot just to there. So I thought, how am I going to make it big? I didn't really want to add white. I didn't want to do a white toe. And I was trying to keep it all green other than the heel flap and the toe. So I thought, how am I going to do that? So then I thought, okay, I'll cast the other one on and I'll get started with this and do the same thing. I'll do my 8 rows of rib and my 10 rows of color. So then I cut off the ball. So here is what I had left. Check this picture out. So that was after I'd finished this, that's how much yarn I had left. So then what I did was I unraveled it and made it into 2 small balls. So here is how that finished up. Then what I did was I started on one of the smaller balls again. So I'm back to this first color here, and I managed to get 8 rows, which is super cool because half of this is 16 and half of 16 is 8. So this is really cool. So then what I'm going to do was I thought, should I put the blue in next, which would have been for the heel flap and turn, or completely ignore that and go to the next color, which is what I'm going to do. So by the time I add 16, 8 more, and then 8 more of the dark green, I think that will give me enough foot length to then start on the blue toe. So it's been super cool trying to work out how to figure out how much yarn I'm going to have. Oh, and by the way, this then is how much. Where did it go? Let me show you. That's how much I have left after I've done that. I still have this for the other sock, but this is how much I have left. It is teeny little bit, which will go in my magic knot ball. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my socks, which are super fun. And again, I hope I get them done before I go to Vegas. But I don't think so. So I may take them with me and do it there, because I've got to take some knitting on the plane with me, haven't I? You know? So anyway, that's all I've got for you for knitting today. It's not really very long. Oh, I have had a thought too. When I get back from Vegas, I actually think I want to start a baby sweater. Well, not really a baby sweater, but it's for my grandson, Tristan. I have a flax sweater and I love it. And I have some of the yarn left, and I thought, I wonder if I can get a mini sweater out of what's left of the yarn. And it knits up very quickly. It's a really nice, easy pattern to do. So I think I'm going to give that a go. But I want to just check first to make sure I can still get that yarn color, just in case I run out. But I don't think I will, because I feel like I'll have enough. And so I'm going to cast on that for him. And I'm going to do, he's 2 now, so I'm going to do the, I think it's 2 to 4 to 5 or 2. Anyway, there's like that many different sizes in the flax sweater. There's bound to be one I can do. And if it doesn't fit him, it'll fit Leo. So all good. So there, I hope you really enjoyed watching all the Stripy sock stuff. And give it a go. Grab some of your old pieces of yarn you've got left over and have a go at doing some Stripy socks. They're a lot of fun. So I will see you next Monday for another Tobyknits, but I will be back this Wednesday for some cross stitch. So if you like cross stitch, stop by Wednesday. Okay, see you soon. Bye.